Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Let's take a look at the top stories tonight. Yoweri Museveni receives Pan-African Parliament Chief Charumbira, pledges support to implement the AU objectives. Government issues 90-day ultimatum to Zoka Forest encroachers to vacate or be forcefully evicted. While the First Lady bitter with the growing LGBTQ vice and agenda in schools, and Uganda Cancer Institute unveils new blood and cellular therapy services. Hello once again. President Yoweri Museveni has received the visiting president of the Pan-African Parliament, Senator Fortune Charumbira, who paid a courtesy call on him at State House Entebbe. Senator Charumbira was accompanied by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, and her Deputy Right Honourable Thomas Tayabwa. While introducing the guests to President Museveni, the Speaker announced that Uganda has been chosen to host the next sitting of the Pan-African Parliament, slated to take place from the 20th till the 21st of October this year in Kampala. President Museveni thanked Senator Charumbira and the members of PAP for choosing Uganda to host the sitting. He, however, challenged them to build unity among the people of Africa to solve the problem of prosperity and strategic security on the continent.
En fait, il faut qu'il soit les deux moyens de
It's better if it is not either or.
Donc, c'est sur les deux qu'il faut.
It is education
et...
The government has ordered all encroachers on Zoka Forest Reserve and the contested Apa land to vacate within 90 days. This is contained in a cabinet decision communicated by the Prime Minister and Leader of Government Business, Robina Nabanja, while meeting leaders from Adjumani District at the district headquarters. The 40 square kilometer of the contested Apa land is being claimed by Adjumani District in West Nile and Muru in northern Uganda, as well as the Uganda Wildlife Authority as part of the East Madi Game Reserve.
Nabanja says that Cabinet agreed that the contested land be vacated to pave way for gazettement and benefit of the future generations.
Come with the officers. For them, they are going to stay here until this exercise is done. We are giving your people a period of only 3 months. 15th, April 15th, May 15th. May 15th, if you come and find those people there, we shall forcefully evict them.
Nabanja said that government provided 2.5 billion shillings to compensate verified genuine households with 10 million shillings, 20 iron sheets and 20 bags of cement to enable them relocate to other places.
Approved and endorsed the same resettlement package of 10 million for those rightful claimants, 20 iron sheets, 20 bags of cement for each household. Reports were 71. Remember those 71 households. It is also in this one.
Banja appeals to local leaders to support the government intervention to resolve the long-standing conflict. Since 2012, deadly ethnic clashes between the Acholi and their neighboring Madi community over Apa land have resulted in the death of over 20 people, several forced disappearances, injuries and displacement of families.
To be the 374 who will get the 2 million, and out of this the 71 who will get the 20 bags of cement, the 20 iron sheets and the 10 million.
The Minister for Local Government, Raphael Majezi, told the meeting that the contested upper market will be closed within 30 days from today.
to avoid somebody saying, but I had constructed my kiosk there. You see, I still had some tomatoes to sell. I was still, you are being given exactly 1 month from today. So there is no upper market after 15th of March. Enforcement is by you, the local leaders, by our security people.
On behalf of the people of Adjumani, the LC5, Ben Anyama and Ababiku Jessica, the woman member of Parliament at Adjumani, welcomed the position on resolving the conflict.
The President and the Cabinet for taking this sober decision to resolve the problem of APA. We take this.
The entire Cabinet and therefore government, for the restoration of hope you have given us as people of Madisab region and as people of West Nile.
The Prime Minister, with the Minister for Security, Major General Jim Muhwezi, and other ministers later met the leaders of Amuru to communicate the government position. According to reports, varying perceptions by the Acholi and Madi ethnic communities, increased agitation and economic importance being attached to the contested area and political interest are major causes of the upper unrest.
And now let's take you back a bit. President Yoweri Museveni has received the visiting president of the Pan-African Parliament, Senator Fortune Charumbira, who paid a courtesy call on him at State House in Tebe. The senator was accompanied by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, and her deputy, Thomas Tayabwa. While introducing the guest to the president, the Speaker announced that Uganda has been chosen to host the next sitting of the Pan-African Parliament, slated to take place from the 10th to the 21st of October this year in Kampala. President Museveni thanked the senator and members of Pan-African Parliament for choosing Uganda to host the sitting. He, however, challenged them to build unity among the people of Africa to solve the problem of prosperity and strategic security on the continent.
Un des pays les plus. Et nous avons passé une résolution que le Parlement du continent africain, contre tout ce que disaient des autres étrangers sur ce projet.
This issue of the pipeline passing through some national park and creating some environmental issues.
Les questions environnementales.
So that the pipeline does not go Tanzania, Tanga. We said no ways.
Pour que le pétrole ne passera pas en Tanzanie, à Tanga.
European Union, we are the parliament of the continent.
Nous avons dit à l'Union européenne que nous sommes le parlement de l'Afrique, du continent africain.
We support Uganda. Uganda should exploit its natural resources.
Il doit continuer à travailler sur ses ressources naturelles.
And we have that resolution.
Et nous avons
of Africa.
La question de l'Afrique.
Is a scientifically determined issue.
C'est une question qui est déterminée scientifiquement.
It's not emotional.
C'est pas l'émotion.
It's not that because we are Africans, we are what?
Parce qu'on est africain ou quoi? Non.
You need to be clear about that.
Il faut être très clair sur cette question.
And you are not a legislative. You don't have sovereign powers over legislation.
Et vous n'avez pas du pouvoir souverain sur la législation que vous passez.
Because the sovereignty is still with these 54.
La souveraineté reste dans les pays, les 54 pays.
They are still the ones with the sovereign powers.
Donc ils ont le pouvoir souverain de déterminer. C'est pas vous.
But with the IALA, East African Community.
Mais IALA, l'Afrique de l'Est.
The African Parliament,
le Parlement africain,
they are delegated.
Ils ont reçu la délégation.
Powers.
Des pouvoirs qui ont été délégués.
Delegated roles.
Donc des pouvoirs, des
But
actions.
They are very important roles.
Mais qui sont très importants.
And I would want you to be clear about them.
Et je veux que vous soyez clairs en ce qui concerne ces devoirs.
And that's why I would support you.
C'est pourquoi moi je vous soutiendrai.
If you answer, you say, the only way you can be prosperous is to through education.
Donc, à travers l'éducation.
And it's better if they are both actually.
En fait, il faut qu'ils soient les deux moyens d'être.
It's better if it is not either or.
Donc, c'est sur les deux qu'il faut.
It is education and
et
production of goods and services.
La production de services et de produits. Donc,
but if you produce goods and services.
Donc, si vous produisez les produits et les services, par exemple.
Then who buys them?
Et qui les achète? Prospérité.
Now the second question is.
Deuxième question.
Do you want to be secure?
Est-ce que vous voulez la sécurité?
If you want strategic security.
Pour la sécurité stratégique.
You need to get together. Is the Americans talk of the
ces jours-ci, les Américains
four-dimensional superiority.
Parlent d'une supériorité de 4 dimensions. Supériorité de 4 dimensions par les Américains.
The superiority on land.
Sur terre.
Superiority in the air. Air Force.
La force aérienne.
The superiority at sea, the navy.
La supériorité lors du.
And the superiority in space.
Dans l'espace et également dans les océans.
No, Uganda may develop and become a developed country.
Et l'Ouganda peut devenir un pays développé.
But we need to be able to build capacity in all those dimensions. We say.
C'est pourquoi nous disons toujours.
Because of prosperity, we need Africa.
À cause de la prospérité qu'il nous faut l'Afrique.
But also for security.
Mais pour la sécurité,
we need Africa.
Il nous faut l'Afrique.
Hold on to you.
Est-ce que vous voulez la prospérité ou vous ne voulez pas la prospérité?
If you say yes,
si vous dites oui,
then I tell you that the way to go is the Pan-African way.
Donc, je vous dis, le seul moyen d'acquérir la prospérité, c'est le moyen panafricain.
Then the next question is, do you want strategic security for Africa?
Est-ce que vous voulez la sécurité stratégique pour l'Afrique?
If you say yes,
si vous dites oui,
I say the way to go is the Pan-African way.
Et moi je vous dis, le seul moyen, c'est le moyen panafricain.
But thirdly,
et troisièmement,
my question is now to you.
Ma propre question, c'est même à vous-même, vous.
Why do you fail to unite these Africans?
Pourquoi vous n'arrivez pas à réunir tous ces Africains?
Whom God united long ago.
Que Dieu a mis ensemble depuis le début.
Through a common heritage.
À travers un héritage commun d'ailleurs.
Of language.
De langues.
And linkages.
Et des liens.
Why don't you build unity for them so that they help you in your problem of prosperity?
Now, the Ministry of Education and Sports has committed to investigate all sorts of moral decay in schools, and those found culpable be charged with exploitation of learners. Minister Janet Museveni, while commissioning the reconstructed Grace House dormitory at King's College, Buddo, expressed disappointment at some education stakeholders for neglecting their role of moral stewardship in schools.
The First Lady, also Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has urged education stakeholders to restore the deteriorating morals and ethical standards in schools. This call comes at a time of circulating sexual-related immorality in schools.
The current state of moral decay in our schools around the country, which points to the urgent need for an equal measure of rebuilding and restoration to promote the ethical and moral conduct of our young generation. It is disturbing that the media should be awash with shocking sexual practices amongst students, which in some incidences are said to be permitted or to go on unabated by the teachers and head teachers. God forbid.
While commissioning the restored Grace House Girls Dormitory at King's College, Buddo, Minister Janet Museveni committed to facilitate investigations surrounding moral decadence in schools. Minister sounded a warning to education stakeholders for facilitating learners' exploitation.
The Ministry of Education and Sports, on the other hand, has to investigate, to get to the root of the social media reports, so that with actual evidence, government can hold those responsible accountable, so as to bring an end to these vices and to deliver justice to the affected learners and their families. I'd like to further counsel our learners and all the young people to guard their hearts and minds against immoral activities such as all forms of sexual perversion, including homosexuality, pornography, and premarital sex.
The Bishop of Namilembe Diocese, Wilberforce Kityoru Walila, also the patron of the founding members of King's College Budo, demands police report on the investigations surrounding moral decay in this traditional school.
In the recent past, it has experienced new challenges of malicious attacks in the media, which are intended to spoil our good name and what we stand for. King's College Budo is a church-owned school adhering to the biblical truth and teachings of the Church of Uganda. We request that the findings of the police inquiry are released soon so that the country gets to know who are behind these acts.
Grace House Girls Dormitory caught fire on the 27th of April 2021 and no one got hurt. The school administration, through fees collected, has been able to restore this facility in 1 year.
The project has entirely used the funds generated from school fees and some donors and friends of King's College Budo.
The school seeks financial support to upgrade the dilapidated infrastructure to match modern education standards.
And the most pressing ones to the school, which need urgent handling, are renovation and expansion of the dormitories to match with the current needs. 2, shortage of modern science laboratories to facilitate the much needed teaching of science. Need for modern classroom block to facilitate a conducive teaching environment of the new curriculum.
The Ministry of Education and Sports is in the process of upgrading all traditional schools to meet modern dynamics in the teaching sector. Abdul Nasir Lupano for UBC.
President Yoweri Museveni has challenged leaders representing people living with disabilities to mobilize the people they lead to actively get involved in government programs of wealth creation. The president's message was delivered by the Prime Minister, Robin Nabbanja, at the closure of a 10-day training for over 300 leaders of people living with disabilities from northern and western regions of Uganda. The training took place at the National Leadership Training Institute, NALI, in Shankwanzi.
The president says that government has initiated several development programs aimed at enabling the people to create wealth and move from subsistence sector.
I would like to use this opportunity to encourage you, leaders, to be at the forefront of mobilizing the communities to participate in production in the 4 sectors of commercial agriculture, industries, services, and ICT. I would like to emphasize the importance of enterprise selection. You must select an enterprise that will yield high returns on investment. The NRM has proved that everyone can make a contribution to socio-economic transformation.
President Museveni says that the NRM government, since it assumed power in 1986, has been at the forefront in ensuring that all people are treated equally, irrespective of their identity or race.
We believe and work for the unity and development of Uganda. Under the leadership of NRM, there have been deliberate efforts to ensure that previously marginalized groups like the women, the youth, persons with disabilities, etc., are accorded equal treatment before the law.
Helen Asamo, the Minister of State for People Living with Disabilities, says these capacity trainings are in line with government's commitment. Nabanja assured the leaders of people living with disabilities that government will address their concerns raised, such as giving them an affirmative action on other government interventions. The Deputy Director Nali, Colonel Henry Serugo, says that the PWD's leaders have been equipped with knowledge and skills to help them perform better.
Objectives of the training program is to impart ideological clarity, patriotism among the participants, and to educate them on how to sustain the gains of the people's revolution, to enhance the leadership ability of the leaders, and also introduce them to some military skills.
In a joint memorandum presented by Mwesige James on behalf of all the participants, he commended NRM for creating an enabling environment but asked government for affirmative action in different sectors. People living with disabilities overwhelmingly endorsed General Yoweri Museveni as a candidate for 2026 and beyond.
Because as disabled people in the history of Uganda, he is the only leader that recognized our potentials and ensured that our rights and obligations are enshrined in all the laws of Uganda and in the programming, as is evidenced in the NDP3 and the NRM manifesto.
The campaigns for Serere County parliamentary by-elections have entered the third day. NRM candidate Philip Owuchor is among the 5 candidates seeking to replace the late Patrick Okabe.
NRM's candidate for Serere County parliamentary by-elections, Philip Owuchor, continues selling out his manifesto to voters.
The other challenge is that some people have no ideas. Some other competitors do not have ideas. They do not have anything that they want to tell people. So they are now focusing on propaganda.
This Wednesday he has campaigns in Kateta sub-county. He is joined by directors Rosemary Nasoboka and Emmanuel Dombo.
Give Owuchor a chance because he's the flag bearer. He will be able to raise all the concerns that we are talking about. The issues of water, the issues of schools, the issues of health centers. He will be able to deliver.
Honorable Owuchor, when you have gotten elected, we are coming to recruit people from here. The areas where people have gone to work have changed.
According to Emmanuel Dombo, the vastness of some sub-counties making up Serere County is one factor hindering service delivery.
This is not good for these mothers. This is not good for these young men who go to school. The sub-county is the unit of planning. Let us subdivide these sub-counties and bring services nearer to the people. Why should a mother move for 10 kilometers to go to Health Center 3?
The mode of campaigns being used by NRM in this by-election is not sparing such engagements.
So I want to request you as young people, let us support government.
Say that they are going to support the flag bearer, who is Philip Owuchor, because they do not want to fight with the party.
They have been talking about poor roads, and they want the support of government, which we shall definitely give to our flag bearer once he has been elected.
For the candidate Philip Owuchor, the race is beyond self.
But for us, we are telling them to continue with propaganda. As for us, we continue selling our message. The message of hope, the message of renewal, the message of health, the message of education, the message of our poor roads, the message of supporting our people, connecting with other districts by supporting the roads and improving the road network.
Serere County parliamentary by-election campaigns or polls is attracting 5 candidates who include NRM's Philip Owuchor, ANT's Ali Salaso, the independent Emmanuel Okabe Omoding, Martin Ongurucho and Emmanuel Oiratu, of FDC. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Meanwhile, Uganda Cancer Institute has unveiled a new blood and cellular therapy that will provide more treatment options for patients seeking advanced treatment. The treatment will be for patients with serious immune-mediated diseases and will include collection of higher quality blood components.
The new blood cellular therapy is to reduce the cost spent on cancer patients seeking treatment abroad. Dr. Henry Dungu, a senior consultant at Uganda Cancer Institute, says the services that will be offered include red blood cell exchange for patients with sickle cell.
We hope by having this service in place will reduce significantly on the number of people that have to go abroad for these kinds of treatment. So we hope this is going to be very, very helpful when we start implementing, and it reduced significantly on the cost of foreign exchange. The procedure in which blood is collected, part of the blood, such as platelets or white cells, is taken out, and the rest of the blood is returned to the donor.
Apheresis and cellular therapy will also treat cancer patients with serious immune-mediated diseases. Dr. Dungu says the institute is in the process of conducting a bone marrow transplant required for several cancerous and non-cancerous medical conditions.
Uganda Cancer Institute is at the final end of starting full implementation of this program of bone marrow transplant, where conditions around blood can be treated using this modality of treatment.
He, however, highlighted the challenge of the high cost of setting up the service.
To set up a bone marrow transplant program for a country is very expensive. Much as it is going to save us a lot of money, but we need infrastructure that is going to help. Transplant is done in special facilities.
Dr. Rita Bafumbo explained how the service will be operationalized. However, there is also a challenge of lack of enough specialists for service and funds, and the institute has embarked on training various cadres.
The Trimer machine, and the other one is called the Spectra Optia machine, links to the donor. When the blood starts flowing from the donor to the machine, this machine separates different blood components. The machine will deplete, it will take out all those excess cells, and in this we are able to reduce them just in one day.
The cost of the treatment will be determined by the board, but it is anticipated that it will be free of charge and a medical tourism service that will attract patients. Irene Faith Nantongo, Dan Lugemwa, UBC News.
The Interreligious Council of Uganda has expressed concern over the growing spread of the homosexuality and LGBTQ agenda in Uganda. According to the Archbishop Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, this agenda has a lot of implications on the well-being of children and families. They call upon government, parents and schools to address the vice.
Social media has of recent been awash with stories of homosexuality trickling down into schools, thus attracting the attention of the Interreligious Council of Uganda, denouncing the vice with the utmost scorn.
Different centers will be opened to our headquarters, our churches, mosques, to support those who are struggling. So they have a rescue, they know where to go. Some of them were just lured, that they don't know how to handle. But the church, the mosque, open for them, because God loves them all. They just need to be counseled.
I want to call upon every parent, therefore, to be able to guide their children, to talk to their children, to stem up the idea of morality within the family so as to help society for now and even for tomorrow.
Members of the Interreligious Council want the Ministry of ICT, together with Uganda Communications Commission, to redefine and regulate broadcast programmers that expose children to such acts.
We call upon the legislature also to join hands with the religious leaders so that this law is passed to save Ugandans from that vice.
I think it is now the responsibility of our Ministry for ICT to quickly get experts to begin to cluster content consumption into age groups so that children can only have what is good for them.
It's alleged that some schools are working with non-government organizations to secretly promote acts of homosexuality, prompting the leaders to urge parents to be extra careful in protecting their children against the vice.
There came a time when people were wanted to concentrate more on intellectual knowledge. They put on the side things which have to do with religion.
Jane Nguramchisha reporting for UBC.
And lawyers of legislators Alan Sewanyana and Mohamed Segirinya have expressed their concern over the process of bail granted to their clients, which according to them leaves the matter hanging in balance and questions their safety and whereabouts. This follows the release of the two legislators on Monday, 13th February, on a cash bail of 20 million shillings each by the High Court in Masaka.
Monday afternoon, 13th February 2023, will forever be remembered in history by the families and constituents of legislators Mohamed Segirinya and Alan Sewanyana, who were arrested in September 2021. The afternoon that saw the MPs of Kawempe North and Makindye East respectively granted a cash bail of 20 million each has birthed questions over the bail signatories and applicants' whereabouts.
On record, the Honorable Sewanyana was dumped in Masulita. Well, he has relatives there. But, you know, loose relatives, you do not know why you would take such a person released on bail and dump them in Masulita. With the Honorable Segirinya up to now, I don't even know where he was dumped. I've only been told that he was psychologically affected. For him, he thought actually he was not safe.
According to Counsel Samuel Muizi, their clients are out of prison but not in good health, and further condemns the authority for hurriedly releasing them without their pleaders' presence.
Even before the journalists reached Chigo, these people had left prison. But they had requested not to talk to the media, so it was not our work to give information to the media that these people have already gone.
The prison spokesperson Frank Veini cleared the air on claims of illegal detention after the issuance of bail and highlighted their mandate as stipulated in the Prisons Act.
The function of prisons is to escort a discharged prisoner to the precincts, the end of the precincts of the prison. And that's where we stop. Anything that happens, even if it is a foot from the precincts of prisons, is not our function to know.
The surety is signed, the applicants have signed. We are going for the signature of the court officials, preferably it will be the registrar of the court or an official with capacity so to do. Then we'll have our work as lawyers completed.
Joshua Kagoro, UBC News.
Members of the Karamoja Parliamentary Caucus are demanding for a forensic audit to be conducted on the procurement and distribution of relief items towards the sub-region. They have called on all those involved in the financial impropriety to step aside and pave way for investigations. This comes on the heels of allegations of diversion of relief items, specifically iron sheets meant for the residents.
Led by their chairperson, Remigio Achia, members of Karamoja Parliamentary Caucus allege that the intended beneficiaries for the relief aid in the form of goats and iron sheets have largely not received the items.
How can iron sheets meant for Karamoja find themselves 300 kilometers away in Bugishu? on top of the roofs of houses, when the people who are suffering there are waiting for them.
I want to thank the organ of the security that they helped us to find out this. Otherwise, we could not know anything. And I also want to observe that it may not be only iron sheets that could have been stolen.
Blaming this craft on the wanting oversight role of the line ministry, these legislators have made some prayers that aim at, among others, create a favorable environment for thorough investigations.
This is not how we run a country. It's like putting a rat in a garden, in a granary of groundnuts. You think the granary is sealed and your seed is safe. Kumbe, the rat is inside and eating the groundnuts. It's a shame to us. We call them to be honorable and be Christian enough or Muslim enough to withdraw so that we can inquire into this matter.
And may the people of Karamoja see justice meted upon them.
Relatedly, a petitioner into the inquiry by Parliament about the alleged mismanagement of the National Social Security Fund is again up in arms, demanding that the Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Goreti Chitutu, be held responsible for the alleged diversion of relief items meant for the region.
I have even been hearing about issues related to Karamoja, that things were not going right. Items are taken, then corrupt officials they mess it up. I have been hearing. So, MPs from Karamoja have been speaking, like Honorable Faith Nakut has been speaking.
The latest move by Job Matua to hold the minister accountable stems from the allegations that some of the minister's family members were found in possession of 400 iron sheets procured by the government for the communities in Karamoja.
Whereas it is by the brothers and what have you, that one is enough evidence that it is herself. Because she should have known that and should have restrained them, and has not come out to say, I am not the one.
The permanent secretary at the office of the Prime Minister, Keith Mohaganizi, indicated in a letter that investigations were underway to ascertain the facts.
Last year, under the same program, about 2,000 bags of maize were harvested. And those ones that we are told are still in the store. What is shocking to us is that the 3,500 bags of maize that was harvested during the lockdown is missing.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
And Uganda Business and Technical Examination Board are to start check technical and vocational education training assessors before assessing trainees. This has been disclosed by the Commissioner TVET, Loi Muhwezi, at the opening ceremony of the 5th Phase Assessors Training at Uganda Industrial Research Institute, Namanve.
Technical and vocational education training assessors have been asked to focus on the competencies and skills acquired during training. The Commissioner TVET, Loi Muhwezi, disclosed that they are in the process of ensuring that assessors will first be assessed by Uganda Business and Technical Examination Board before assessing students.
But I want these people to get competencies. Don't bring them here in rooms and they go back that they are assessors. Assess what? Let them also show competencies they have. Actually, we are going to start coming before you assess others. You sit the same paper. We see whether you pass it. If you fail it, then we know that it is not worth being sat.
Loi Muhwezi says students must be job creators and ask employees not to employ students that have attained technical and vocational education training.
Because they should be now able to create jobs themselves, not to continue looking for jobs.
She said government has come up with new competence-based curricula to be offered by various centers of excellence in areas of manufacturing, construction, agriculture, and oil and gas. Engineer Silva Mugisha challenged the management to think of digitalized examinations.
Because this analog approach of papers, this is the one I'm used to. After a period of over 30 years, we were doing these examinations on papers, isn't it? So is that the best that can happen now?
The chairperson, Uganda Business Examination Board, Onesma Soyesije, said the board has approved policies and resources which have a critical bearing on TVET assessment.
People with first grade, people with what? They want to take their children to those schools around there. So it is, they do. It's what people now want to get involved in, because they know their side has also been saturated. When you finish, you move up and down, day, night, 1 month, 1 year. So the skilling is now the talk of everyone.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Sent to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that a second round of the house-to-house polio immunization campaign will take place from Friday 17th February to Monday 20th February 2023 in all divisions of Kampala. During this house-to-house polio immunization campaign, health workers will come to your homes, workplaces, schools, daycare centers, places of worship, and other community gatherings and immunize all your children below 5 years of age. Please cooperate with the health workers and give them access access to your homes and schools to vaccinate all children below 5 years of age against polio. It is important to note that this house-to-house polio immunization campaign does not replace routine immunization. The polio vaccine is safe, effective, and free.
Parents and guardians, please ensure that all your children below 5 years of age are immunized against polio during the second round of the polio immunization campaign from Friday 17th of February to Monday 20th of February 2023 in all divisions of Kampala. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, World Health Organization and partners.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. Kabiye Chofa Togavye has urged the youth to embrace government skilling projects to reduce on the increasing unemployment in the country. He made these remarks while at the presidential initiative on skilling the girl and boy child at Wabigalo Training Center, Machindi East Division.
Mbasabe ekintu kimu amagezi ago ge mufunye mugende mugakozesa yensibuko y'obugagga.
Over 600 youths from different parts of Kampala Metropolitan attended training in different courses including shoemaking, electronic engineering, construction and welding, among others. The State Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, Kawiye Chofa Togavye, has hope that this project will reduce on the unemployment in the country.
This is really a very big effort and a very big thing created into our youth. And I believe we need a lot to support this initiative. We need to support the president, we need to support State House, and I thank State House for having put every penny given to them into a good use. And now I call upon all those who are still there to come, especially the coming intake of March. I want them to come and take on this opportunity which has come to them.
The director, Dr. Faith Katana Mirembe, highlighted on the existing challenges in the project.
I pray that those who are helping the president, especially Parliament, they must increase the budget for skilling. These ones are very few. If you come at the time of registration, in the 9 centers you find we are over tens of thousands. Everyone wants to come in, but because of space, it is not possible.
The administrator of Presidential Initiative on Skilling the Girl and Boy Child at Wabigalo Skilling Center, Katende Jemima advised the youth to work on the skills they have attained to transform their lives.
They should work hard as they are leaving this place. They should also continue interacting with us and networking with us because we can link them to other opportunities where they can earn a living.
Other speakers who attended the Presidential Initiative on Skilling the Girl and Boy Child project event also had this to say.
Need various centers around 4, at least 4. And then I'm very sure even other divisions needs more centers, and most especially for boys, because at least for the girls we have a few. We have about 8 for girls, but for the boys we only have 2, and now we have mixed girls.
So if you have any skill, in one way or the other, it can help you to go somewhere. So as per now, I'm studying auto vehicle mechanics, but I knew it in my mind that if I study this auto vehicle mechanics, and I can join any big company.
Justin Nakami, Joseph Muyingo, UBC.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal.
Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Multi Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
Now in business news, on the last day of his 11-day sports and tourism excursion, Rob Walker has visited the Uganda Museum. Walker stressed the importance of museums in the preservation of a people's culture and heritage. The British broadcaster will jet off tonight for Australia to commemorate the World Cross Country Championships.
Used in society today. So the manager was saying that the museum is still a lively demonstration of how the culture works, and it was fascinating to go into some of the different huts to see how the different tribes move. We went into one predominantly used by cattle movers, and they were explaining that the boys and the fathers take it in turns to stay awake and watch over the cattle and the other people in the hut, and then when the boy gets to 14 he's allowed a hut of his own. But I also had a demonstration on the drums, which was fantastic. I didn't realise there were so many different types of drums, so many different sounds coming out of it. But you can just sense the pride here in the history that you've got. I believe this is one of the oldest or most important museums in East Africa. I think it opened well over 100 years ago. So there's great prestige and great history here, and the grounds out the back are massive. So it's great when you have big groups of school children coming. You can see that they have plenty of space to run around in between being given a history lesson as to what the different cultures have contributed to Ugandan society over hundreds of years. Fascinating.
These murals are emblems. These are cultural objects. Some of them are inside the museum. It shows that our culture is living and our artists are working, and so creativity, but the traditions embedded in this. So we will want you to go and
And in sports, a contingent of 17 players and 9 officials from Almas College School, Bukadia, have departed Entebbe International Airport for Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, to feature in the Pan-Africa Schools Football Championship for the Under-15 age bracket. Speaker of Parliament Anita Among officially flagged them off as she wished the very best for them with a cash package of 60 million shillings.
The tournament will eventually take place after a period of uncertainty clouded by COVID-19 and Ebola pandemics. Now there is hope that the championship will take place and Amos vows to return triumphant.
I am now taking another opportunity to thank Honorable Speaker, who gave us an opportunity to flag us and go into the Parliament.
Amos College will represent Uganda alongside Royal Giant High School in boys football.
Our preparations were not bad because we trained all along since last year waiting for this tournament. And we are very ready to bring back the trophy to Uganda.
And this is not only the first victory. We have seen many times our school really winning in championship. For example, secondary school, USSA games. Amos is known for this. So I believe and I trust that these girls, you see them here, the young, energetic and brave girls will be in position to perform well in this tournament.
The tournament will officially kick off on 17th and climax on the 19th February 2023, with the victor not only assured of a slot at the inaugural Africa Championship in April 2023, but also a cash reward of US dollars 100,000.
It is a competition of its own type because there are many countries of which they only want one, who will proceed to Morocco. And the challenge that is in their hands is that they must, I'm using that word must, make sure that they go to Morocco.
Amos College, Bokedeya won the Uganda version, played in August 2023 at the FOFA Technical Center, Njelu. Amos College School is not only vigilant in sports, but also academics, as revealed by the latest O-level examination results, where they topped the entire Bokedeya district. I'm Nafka Farida and Sula Kagugube.
And Big League and Bunyoro Region Stars Kitara Football Club have today unveiled a new title sponsor in Kinyara Sugar as they continue their efforts in strengthening the club's structure and performance in the league. The announcement was made by team president Deo Kasozi Ahewa at Grand Imperial this afternoon.
Kitara Football Club continues to beef up its camp for great performances this season. First, the club got a new coach in Sam Simbwa and acquired new recruits Paul Muchurezi, Frank Katongole, Godfrey Resibawa, George Senkabwa, and others. Today, the club unveiled a new title sponsor in Chinyara Sugar Limited to support their efforts as they seek a spot in the Uganda Premier League next season. The unveiling happened this afternoon at Grand Imperial Hotel in Kampala.
Chinyara Sugar Limited has given us 30 million cash and 20 million in other goodies or other activities of the club for this period, that is Feb to September of 2023. This means they are covering the remaining period of the FOFA Big League, given that Kitara is in the FOFA Big League, and then some other months during preparations into the Uganda Premier League. And the Kinyara Sugar Works coming on board is to assist us to improve the finances of the club and help us into this dream of qualifying.
Other unveiling, Kinyara Limited committed to a sponsorship of 50 million Uganda shillings up to the month of September 2023.
We want the community, we want the people to also understand that even as Kinyara, we are supporting different sporting activities. We've continuously supported different sports like golf. We have supported football, and because football has a potentiality of attracting many people, and which will give also mileage to create more relations between Kinyara and the community. And also our relationship with the Bunyoro region is inseparable because that's our area of operation. And
Kitara Football Club is one of the best clubs in Bunyoro region and is currently placed second in the FOFA Big League. The club is also in the round of 32 in the Uganda Cup. Kitara Football Club will be in action this Friday, the 17th of February 2023 in Abunyoro Derby against Boma FC. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
Well, and that does it for News Tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely night.